President Trump wants to send the National Guard into Washington now. Why didn't he send the National Guard in those several hours he watched the January 6th rioters?
Al Sharpton is once again a buffoon and a liar. Al Sharpton, listen, whenever his mouth is moving, trust me, this man is lying. Now, he is the the king of race baiting and race hustling. He knows how to pull scabs off of wounds. He knows how to be slanderous. He knows how to deceive. Al Sharpton, or the Reverend Al Sharpton, he is a wolf in shepherd's clothing. This guy has been pushing this agenda of divisiveness and demonic possession. I don't even know what to call it, for a long time. I mean, I'm at a loss for words, and that's rare. To describe this guy and to put him into his proper context, you have to be just as diabolical and as sinister as he is. I'm not, but it's a tough challenge to really decode who and what this guy is and who he's truly working for, because he's not working for the kingdom. He's not a true believer. Now, Fat Al, yeah, there was a time frame where he was keen on some of the issues when he first got started. But, 2025 toothpick skinny Al, man, this guy is a villain. Take a look at this video right here where he just blatantly lies on President Trump about J6 and the fact that President Trump is now trying to clean up DC. Take a look at this, and we're going to fact check him. Take a look.
Interesting. President Trump wants to send the National Guard into Washington now. Why didn't he send the National Guard in those several hours he watched the January 6th rioters beating up police and holding members of Congress in complete panic? He didn't send the National Guard then. I'm not against fighting crime, but let's fight all crime and certainly don't pardon the criminals.
Let's listen to this again.
President Trump wants to send the National Guard into Washington now. Why didn't he send the National Guard in those several hours he watched the January 6th rioters beating up police and holding members of Congress?
All right, that's enough of this. So why didn't President Trump call the National Guard in for those several hours that he sat back and watched those J6ers beating up people, blah, 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 blah? Let me make this plain. This is a false premise. This is the false premise on January 6th. It's a lie, guys and gals. It's a lie. Trump did request the National Guard days before January 6th to bolster security, but Mayor Muriel Bowser and the Capitol security leadership declined. Federal law requires cooperation from DC's mayor and Capitol security for guard deployments inside the district. The president can't just send them in without legal coordination unless invoking emergency powers. This isn't speculation. Pentagon memos, Trump's chief of staff, and multiple witnesses have confirmed the guard was offered and turned down. Turned down. That's the truth. Muriel Bowser, the mayor of DC, the same person who's upset because President Trump has now sent in the National Guard and said, bump her, I'm doing it anyway. She declined it. I'll prove it to you. Take a look at this next video. You'll see for yourself.
Former Pentagon chief of staff during the Trump administration. Kash Patel. The Inspector General, by the way, said you guys did everything right at the Department of Defense. Fact check. Did Donald Trump call for 10 to 20,000 National Guard troops to be on standby for January 6th? Did he do it 2 days before January 6th?
Yeah, Sean, it's great to be with you. I was in the Oval Office on that day, days prior to January 6th, with the Secretary of Defense, the Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, and others, and President Trump. And he authorized, as the law requires, 10 to 20,000 National Guardsmen and women to be utilized around the country. But the second part of the law requires a federal agency or governor or mayor, such as the United States Capitol Police or Mayor Bowser, to make a request. Otherwise, the National Guard cannot be deployed legally.
Okay, and you have we have the actual signature of Mayor Muriel Bowser to defense officials declining the National Guard support. We'll put it up on the screen. To be clear, the District of Columbia is not requesting other federal law enforcement personnel and discourages any additional deployment without immediate notification and consultation, et cetera, et cetera. Is that true?
That's 100% accurate, and Biden's DOD Inspector General himself said the Trump administration DOD did not delay or obstruct their response to January 6th, and Mayor Bowser and the Capitol Police repeatedly in writing refused to request the National Guard, and that's in the report, and it's in the DOD records, and I wonder why so many people aren't asking for it. I'm thankful that you are.
Let me ask you this. For the National Guard to have been called up, that had to be approved by Nancy Pelosi. Is that the correct chain of command?
Well, Nancy Pelosi supervises the United States Capitol Police. That's the federal agency, and Mayor Bowser who would have requested the National Guard. So I can't imagine a universe where the United States Capitol Police didn't consult with their chain of command to make that request.
All right, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Al Sharpton is once again a buffoon and a liar. He lied. President Trump should sue him for slander. The man lied. You gonna send in the National Guard today, to protect DC. But you should have sent in the National Guard when the J6 riot was taking place. Loud and wrong. Just loud and wrong. Al Sharpton, you need to correct this. Someone get Al Sharpton on the phone. Go find him. You used to find him at the nearest buffet. I don't know where to find him now. All right. But find Al Sharpton and tell him he needs to correct this. He lied. He lied. It sounded good, but he lied. It was sensational. Sensational. See, everybody wants to be sensational, but he lied. He didn't tell the truth. The evidence is there. If he would have Googled and did a simple search, he's on MSNBC. He has fact checkers. He has research analysts. Hey, yeah, he does. He can find the truth. But let's pile on and let's dump on Trump. Let's have TDS and lie. See, Bowser's role, let me get back to her, because Al Sharpton, man, Al Sharpton. Bowser's role, Mayor Bowser's role then versus now. On January 5th, 2021, Bowser wrote to the Department of Defense, formally requesting that the Guard not be armed and have only limited authority. Fast forward to now, she criticizes Trump for using the Guard to restore order, proving her position changes depending on political optics. And so you're playing politics with the safety of American citizens, and it needs to stop. And this liar, Al Sharpton, is coming alongside Mayor Muriel Bowser, and they're both in cahoots. It's sad. What they should be doing is cleaning up the mess in DC, because 91.5% of these heinous crimes that are taking place in DC are being committed by Black people. The numbers are true. 91.5% of these crimes are being committed by Blacks. Don't you think they should be focusing on this, since Black Lives Matter? Oh, but you don't want to address this issue and this problem because you have to speak against blacks. And let me tell you something. There's something that matters more to me than being like color, is being like-minded. All right? I'm not going to sit here and just turn a deaf ear and turn blind eye to a crisis solely because it's black people doing it. No. If it's black people committing the crimes, we need to address it. Lock them up, throw away the key, be tough on crime, send the message that we're not playing. That's what Trump is trying to do. If it was predominantly white people committing these crimes, I would say the same thing. If it was predominantly Asians or Hispanics or Native Americans or others or whoever it is, Indians, Chinese, Korean, Taiwanese, Google Gapan, I don't care. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? I don't care who it is. I don't care about the color. Let's deal with the criminal. Let's deal with the crime. But instead, Al Sharpton, he's got to push his agenda. He's got to tell his big lies so that he can swindle people and so that everyone can pile on Donald Trump because he's doing something about this grave injustice. This is terrible. See, urgency is not new. The current deployment isn't a sudden conversion. Trump's record shows he has used the guard to protect cities and restore order, such as during violent unrest in the summer of 2020. He wanted order on J6, on January 6th, but was politically blocked. Today, he's invoking Section 740 of the D.C. Home Rule Act, which allows a direct federal takeover of the police department and guard mobilization. This is a double standard on all crime. Left-wing leaders have been selective in their outrage, and it continues. That's why violent carjackers, repeat gun offenders, and gang members walk free in D.C. under Bowser's watch. Yet the focus is on political opponents. Could it be that she's turning blind eye to this because they are black? Because they're black thugs, black criminals, black boys, black girls, black people doing the crime, so therefore it's no longer a crime. The devil is a liar. Lock them up. Be tough on crime. Don't give them a slap on the wrist. Tell those kids who are committing these crimes, ages 15 to 16, some of them are 12. Sadly, the majority of the carjackings that are taking place are taking place at the hands of black kids who are 15 to 16. Tell them to go to school. Go get an education. Go read a book. Go study. Go be a productive citizen. Go learn your times tables. Go learn how to read for comprehension. Go get an education. Sadly, many of these kids are falling behind Hispanic students. It's sad that in many of these cities, Hispanic students who speak English as a second language, are outpacing these black students academically. And it's because of the leadership. It's the Al Sharptons, the liars. It's the Mayor Muriel Bowsers, the deflectors. And it's the President Trumps, the people who are willing to clean it up, that everyone is mad at. And this stuff needs to stop. See, pardons versus prosecution. The blanket statement about pardoning criminals is a distortion. Trump has consistently differentiated between peaceful protesters and violent actors. Democrats, meanwhile, have supported bail funds and legal aid for left-wing rioters and looters from 2020. So what is the Christian perspective on all of this stuff? The Christian perspective on the facts and the accusation. Let me let you know what it is. God commands truth over false witness. Exodus 20, verse 16 says, "You shall not bear false witness against your neighbor." Spreading or repeating false narratives, like claiming Trump did nothing on January 6th, when evidence shows he requested the guard ahead of time, is bearing false witness. And you can be sued for that as well. Christians must reject half-truths and distortions, regardless of political affiliation. Justice requires accuracy, not political spin. Let me say that again. Justice requires accuracy and not political spin. Proverbs 18:17 says, the first to plead his case seems right until another comes and examines him. We are called to examine claims, check the facts, and ensure that accusations are not rooted in bias or selective memory. Government's biblical role is to protect the innocent. It is. Romans 13, 3 through 4. Rulers are to be God's servants, agents of wrath, to bring punishment on the wrongdoer. Trump's push to send the National Guard, both before J6 and now, aligns with this principle. Leaders are to act proactively to protect life and property. Blocking that action is a failure of duty. And so we need consistency. That's what we need, because consistency is a moral value. James 2:1 warns against showing favoritism. Christians must reject selective outrage. Prosecuting one group harshly while excusing or downplaying violence from another is unjust in God's eyes. God's standard is impartial justice. Leviticus 19, verse 15. Now, my hope and prayer is that you can see through the narrative of Al Sharpton, this crook, this blasphemous crook who's been crooking for a long time. Let me know what you think below in the comment section. Am I right or am I wrong? Am I weak or am I strong? God bless you, my friends, and God bless America. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much.